Hello, this is Mr. Evilcheese.
And I'm Zombie Cat.
And this is our Q&A video that we ask people on the Walking Dead action figure and memorabilia page on Facebook. We asked them some Walking Dead related questions and we're going to answer them here.
Ronnie Hayes said, what aspect of the Walking Dead story, comic show together, interests you the most?
For me, the aspect that interests me most is kind of what Robert Kirkman's intention was of creating The Walking Dead. And that is a more detailed and more like long-term story of what happens to people after the zombie apocalypse. Because in a movie, like Robert Kirkman said, the movie's short and you see what happens to people in a short amount of time and then story just ends and it's like, what the hell happens after that? And that's my favorite thing about The Walking Dead, is they explore so many different things, like just living life in that situation, like what you would do to build a life afterwards, and just, you know, dealing with what people would become, like civilization, and like dealing with all the people that become like, I don't know, almost like, what would you call, like instinct survival people. Just, they might not necessarily be bad people, but they'll kill you to get what you got because that's what they got to do. And you would consider them bad people because they're doing that, but really they're just trying to survive, and you got to fight to survive against them. Just that kind of stuff, like just trying to survive in a world like that. It's just, I just like that idea of what people would do in this type of world.
That's my answer is along the same lines, because mine's a little bit more specific. My favorite aspect of it is basically the internal struggle of all of the survivors. Just exploring like people going a little bit nuts, people striving to hold intact what little humanity they have left, trying to have a society when there is nothing left. Just like the mental struggles, people who go bad, but can you completely blame them because of the situation they're in? Just basically like the whole psychological aspect of living in a post-apocalyptic world is really interesting to me.
Yeah, and like even though that's like a fictional thing, it's like actually kind of like how people are in their environment, like how they react with their what happened with their mind and everything, and how they see things. That's just a really cool idea. Like just kind of like how I like the idea of, let's say everybody that's alive today that you know, like there's no zombie apocalypse, it's just regular life. Like everybody you know to be a certain way. But say a zombie apocalypse happened and those people survived that you know, like they would change. Like people that you completely trusted and thought were awesome people, some of them might turn out to not be so awesome people in this situation. Some might become your closest friends because you could trust them. Some might, you know, stab you in the back over some food or some bullets or something. Like that idea, I just really like that. That was kind of like the Rick and Shane thing. Rick and Shane were best friends, completely trusted each other as cops in regular life. But when the zombie apocalypse happened, things changed, and now Shane is a deadly threat. And I just like that idea.
I also like the fact that it makes you think about how you would be. You know what I mean? Like, I think about that constantly when I'm reading or watching the show, like how I would be in that situation. And the truth is, most people think, oh, well, I would be this way, I would be like this person, that's how I would do shit. But there's no way of really knowing how that shit would fuck with you. Like, you can't control psychologically how it would change you, but it is really interesting to think about how you would do shit in the apocalypse.
Yeah, like, I've had lots of like problems in the last few years with friends and just anxiety and that kind of stuff, and that really messes with your head. And I can see like the stuff that the problems it would just cause. Like if something like that happened, would really mess with you mentally. Like you could think you could be the most humble, nicest person, caring person, but let's just say some really bad stuff happens to you. Your friends and family get killed. That would really mess with your mind, and you're not you at all.
It could turn you into from a sweet, friendly person into the governor. Like,
yeah, you can.
Who knows?
Come across some people and you'd be starving, your friends and family that are with you are starving, and you just kill them, take their stuff to protect them.
Or eat them.
And then maybe later get to a community where you're able to everybody's safe and they got food, and then you got to think back, a few weeks ago, I just killed people. I killed nice, friendly people and stole their stuff to feed my people. That's just that's just messed up stuff. That's what I really like about this story. It really shows what could happen in them kind of situations.
And I mean, in that world, you'd basically be living in a place where the majority of the people left on Earth have some form of PTSD. Like, everybody would be so fucked up.
Yeah, that's what bugged me. Like, I read comments about the Alexandria scenes with Sasha flipping out. Like, people were pissed off about Sasha flipping out at the party, and that bothered me because I think so many more people would be flipping out than just her, and I completely get why she'd be like insane at that point.
Yeah, like, I don't like Sasha, and I don't like the way she's been acting, but the thing she did at the party was not it. Like, that is understandable. My thing is, I just don't like that because of her issues, she's putting other people in danger, like when they were on the road.
Well, that's another thing. I mean, when you're so screwed up mentally, you might not be thinking too much about your buddies. Like, you could screw up. Like, I'm not defending her, I'm just saying, like, there's just so many things that could be messed up in that situation.
I'm not saying that, like, that wouldn't happen. It just makes me not like her.
Another thing about it is, too, like, you could say, like, The Walking Dead in 20 years, people would be more used to the zombie apocalypse and have a certain mentality. But these are people that used to live a normal life before the zombie apocalypse, trying to deal with it. And I think that messes with people. Like, people like Carl and Sophia, I think they're going to grow up being more prepared and more able to deal with this type of life than the current people, because they're set in their ways.
They won't be constantly thinking about trying desperately to make life more like how it used to be, because their life wasn't ever like that.
Okay, one thing about The Walking Dead that I love that it kind of bugs me when it comes to George Romero is I love George Romero. I love the Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Living Dead, Day of the Dead, and Day of the Dead was all right. But it bothered me with some of the interviews where he is asked about The Walking Dead, and he's like, it sounds like he doesn't really like The Walking Dead. Like, he says something like, well, my movies they said they made social statements about life, like consumerism and that kind of stuff, like in Dawn of the Dead with like people walking through the mall like zombies, and that just bothered me because like it just seems like Zombie Cat said, it just seems like he's jealous, and it really bothers me because I think The Walking Dead like makes lots of statements about the way people are in humanity and all kinds of political statements, and just
a lot of their statements are more subtle, like it's more of like almost like a subtext kind of thing, but they're there. And there's a plethora of them. Like, it's not just one scene where you see something happening. It's like the whole show. It's constantly making like social commentary in the background.
Yeah, it is. It's like always like it bothers me. Like, The Walking Dead knows that George Romero is a big part of why zombie movies and zombie like popularity is big. Like, they show tributes, like they have tribute zombies based on Romero zombies, like in the show. Like, they know that Romero is a big part of it, so that just bothers me the way Romero's acting. Like, he's starting his own zombie show, but he's putting vampires in the show and to make it different.
Yeah, you told me about that, and it just seems fucking silly.
Yeah, like he's like, oh, there's too much zombie stuff. I'm gonna do one with vampires, and like, that just bugs me. Like, the thing is, Romero, you did awesome stuff with zombies. You made zombies what they are today, and now some show is taking your idea and making it really awesome, and you're jealous, and it just bugs me. It's like, you should be happy. You should be part of the Walking Dead thing. I remember they asked you to direct the episode. You didn't want to do it. Like, I don't know. Like, this is something you created, and they did something amazing and awesome with it, and I think he should be a part of The Walking Dead, not a rival to it. I don't know. Okay, Noah Botica? I might have said your name wrong. Botica? You said, if any If you could have any walker made into a figure from the show, which would it be?
That's hard. That's really hard.
Yeah, there's several walkers that I really wanted to figure out.
The first one that comes to mind for me is one of the bloaters from the basement.
The basement?
The canned food place.
Oh, okay, from the
the
Father Gabriel's.
Basement.
Yeah.
They're all like bloated weirdos. They're pretty cool looking. I would want one of them.
Yeah. And I like the church lady zombie was one of them.
Yeah.
Like with the glasses that was one of Father Gabriel's, like his girlfriend or his, I don't know who she was to him.
Some chick that he knew. That's it.
That was one that I really liked. But some of the other ones down there were awesome. But there was also one that I've always said in lots of our videos was the Dill, the one that killed Dill from the swamp biter zombie, or I don't know what the hell his name is, swamp zombie, Dill biter zombie. I really liked him.
The cow eater. Is he the one that ate a cow?
Oh, he might have ate a cow. I don't know.
I think he did.
But
there's also that one zombie, one episode that was in an alleyway and they showed him for like 2 seconds, but he was fucking cool.
Yeah, and then Rick ran by and sliced his stomach open.
Yeah.
That was a cool one. Out of them, I think I would pick the church lady zombie just because she's most different.
Yeah, she's more like more iconic looking, like more memorable.
So I guess I would go with church lady zombie. After that, I would probably pick the one that killed Dale, just because I always wanted that one. Just such a big zombie that I just really wish they would have made that one.
Okay, Kenny Griffin asked, what The Walking Dead McFarlane building set would you like to see made that has not been made or announced yet? And he said, example for him, he'd like to see the governor tank with the governor with his sword and Herschel and Michonne kneeling on the ground. I think it'd be really cool to have a building set of Morgan's room. Like when they go back on that episode, what is it, Clear? And he's nuts, he's got writing all over the inside of his room and there's weapons everywhere. I think it'd be really cool to have that. Or even one of the street in front with all the traps set up.
For me, I really like the idea of the, like what Kenny said, the tank and all that. But since he picked that, I'm going to go with the season 2 barn, Herschel's barn burning down with all the zombies around it, and there'd be like flaming zombies and the barn would be on fire. Just assuming that they would make pretty cool looking fire to go with their Lego type sets. I think that would be a pretty cool set, but it'd be the barn. Or even maybe just even the barn before the fire, like when Shane's flips out and opens the barn up and starts shooting them all coming out, like Sophia and all that. That'd be kind of cool too.
We can just make attachable fire.
Yeah. So it could be both. It could be Shane letting the zombies out, or it could just be the barn on fire. Whatever you want to do. Okay. And Andrew Spencer asks, when did we first read the Walking Dead comics? And I don't remember the exact time, but I know that we started reading them before the show started. Because when I heard the show started, I thought that sounded pretty cool. A zombie show was going to start up, and I wanted to know a little bit more about it. And I was at a comic book store, and I was already thinking about getting it, and this guy told me they're having this sale. It was on graphic novels, and he said, a graphic novel you should get is The Walking Dead because it's one of his favorite comics ever. And I'm like, I kind of wanted to read that because the show was coming up and I was curious. And he talked me into getting the book. It's the first one is called The Book. It's a collection of 12 issues, the first 12 issues. I love to get the books because they're really, really nice. It's the book volume. Are they called volumes, I guess?
I think so.
Book volume 1 or whatever. But yeah, they're 12 issues each, and that's how we started The Walking Dead. And I loved it. And we read through several of them before the show even started, which really made it awesome seeing the first season because of how some of the things are so similar with Rick riding the horse and stuff. And then seeing some of the characters like Andrea and Dale. That was really awesome. Anything, Zombie Cat?
Oh! Drunk ass. I don't have anything to add to it, because if you'd asked me, I'd have been like, I don't know.
Yeah, well, we definitely read the comic first. It was sort of like, because, hey, there's a show coming up, let's read his comic. That was why I wanted to read it. And I'd say we're probably around maybe somewhere around the Governor area when the show started. And then we just kept on going. It kind of spoils the show a little bit, but not a whole lot, because the show really differs in some ways. So Zombie Cat and I are going to ask each other a question and see what we think. But now we got to think of one. Okay, Connor Pollinger asked really late. He wanted to know if we could pick any figures for allowing what we would pick. And that's kind of like what we did for Figures That Need to Make video. I'll put a link at the end for that. But if we were going to pick like a whole series again, we'd probably make a new updated like Figures That Need to Be Made video.
Okay, my question is, if you could have a replica other than the ones that are already out and that we have, either of those, a replica of any other prop from the show, anything, what would you want?
Okay, I think what it would be is like a perfect replica of the Bicycle Girl zombie, a full-size Bicycle Girl zombie.
Okay.
Is that what you're thinking of, like looking for?
Well, I was thinking more like prop stuff and not like a person thing, but that works.
Oh. Well, I guess like a prop, it would probably be like Merle's knife arm or something.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably what I would pick, would be Merle's knife arm. Would be pretty cool to have.
Yeah.
They'd have to do it in a way where you could stick your hand in it though, because I'd want to put it on.
I think, well, there's people that made custom ones online and stuff.
That'd be cool if they made a really nice one. It'd probably be really expensive though.
Probably.
Okay, what's your question?
My question is a little weird.
I'm kind of worried. What is this?
It's not that bad. It's just.
You keep telling me it's a weird question. Like.
Okay. Let's say the writers came up with the idea of what if one of the characters became immune to the disease? Like maybe they would either become a walker but could still think like a human, or maybe they were just completely immune to the bite. Like, would you want that to happen, or would you think that would be bad for The Walking Dead?
At this point in the show, I think it would be bad. And it sounds a little like the silliness with the guy on Z Nation. Like, I wouldn't want them to get ridiculous with it. Like, Z Nation, I like the way they do their show. That's the way it is. But The Walking Dead is a completely different type of show. And I don't think that it would work with where they're at right now.
Probably not.
If something did happen, though, I would want it to be somebody just being immune. I wouldn't want somebody to be, like, be a walker but not be a walker. I don't think that would work in that world. It would just be off to me. So
that's all of our questions, and thanks to the Walking Dead Action Figure Memorabilia page, because this is where we posted we wanted some questions, and they asked our questions.
Thank you for the questions.
Yeah. And we'll put a link in description. Go check out the Walking Dead Action Figure Memorabilia page and join it, because you can find all kinds of awesome news about when figures are coming out, and people are always selling stuff on there, and I actually bought some stuff on there. And yeah, they're mostly pretty bunch of cool people. Pretty bunch of cool. You're a pretty bunch of cool people. You're all pretty and you're a bunch of cool people. I don't know, that just sounded funny. Maybe because I'm drunkish.
And there's a slight chance, because it happened once before, that I might be on there at like 3 or 4 in the morning, drunk by myself, blabbering about music and goats and shit.
Goats and shit?
If you ever want to listen to me drunkenly ramble about dumb shit, I might appear on there occasionally.
Yeah, I'm on there occasionally. I'm always busy. I'm like, what should I do? Go post on things or try to work on my videos? And I try to work on the videos, and I never have time to do shit.
I go on there sometimes, but I'm mostly a lurker. I wait around for the opportunity to say something. Yeah,
I often, like when I'm at work, I'll just scroll through and read what people posted, but not actually post anything, because typing on your phone at work takes up a lot of time, and someone's going to see me doing it, and it's not a good thing to do.
Yeah, and I just like, I like to read some stuff on there, but I don't like to input unless I have something valid to say, like worth saying. Or if I'm really bored, I'll demand for people to entertain me.
Well, this is Mr. Evilcheese. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.
You didn't let me say that I'm a zombie cat.
This is Mr. Evilcheese.
And I'm a zombie cat.
Thanks for watching, and goodbye.
Yeah, that's better.
Hey man, this is Carl Grimes, and my dad's Rick Grimes. And if you don't watch him and I'm other